Hey everyone, did you all see that amazing demo by Cameron with MCP Shop? That was using the Vercel MCP Adapter, which I'll jump to a quick slide right here. We have a really quick one-line adapter, works in most major frameworks, SvelteKit, Next, Nuxt, name it. It's a one-line drop-in, and you have all of an MCP server functionality right there. But back to the regularly scheduled program, I want to talk about my experience building the Vercel MCP. It is still very much under development. We're trying to make it as useful as possible. But there's some very important lessons that I hope to share with y'all, and also some future plans that I hope people will improve upon. So here's a quick demo. It is recorded. It's a very well-rehearsed demo. Let's say anyone right now uses Vercel, right? People that know how to code, people that don't know how to code, everyone can deploy in Vercel. So from the perspective, there's a lot of features on Vercel that a lot of people don't tap into. So in this case, I have this WorkOS demo app. It is a very heavy traffic site that's running a chat completion. I, for many reasons, want to make sure that all the traffic is good. I want to make sure that all the users are legit. So when I see that there's errors showing up on my API endpoint, I can just ask Cursor why. And then this will actually invoke the Vercel MCP. It will reason about anything Vercel. It will then fetch the error logs. It will look through the error logs from this exact deployment. And from that, it actually found that there were some users making too many requests. And so it'll give me a recommendation to add a rate limit. It will also try to add the advanced bot protection. What you don't see behind the scenes is for the rate limit to be added, there's actually a very complex mutation to happen with the firewall rules, with Vercel as a platform. You'll see in a little bit. But from being able to use these tools exposed by the Vercel MCP, Cursor is able to actually use modern solutions we have to improve your code on the fly. So when you see it actually figure things out, you'll see it generated a rate limit. It generated the key, actually. This key, you'll see, it actually made a firewall rule. Sorry for the flashbang. If we go to this project, you can see that it actually made a rate limit rule. So that exact rule, before it got added to code, the Vercel MCP actually made sure that this was a legitimate rule and that anyone with this rate limit would be subject to a fixed window, and otherwise they would get rate limited. Right? So this is a feature that is very powerful to a lot of Vercel users, but it's a very complex feature set up properly and to do things in the most efficient way. And so we hope the Vercel MCP could be a good way to help with this feature, as well as with many other features to make the web a secure and fast place. So you can see here that it added the rest of the code for the bot protection as well. And that's it. And so from me just having the concept of, oh, I had errors, I had problems with my code, to be able to find the right features and the right setup to get me started right away, it just worked. And so here's another demo. So the one you saw some very, I would say, prescriptive tool names, right? It was fetch error logs. It was get deployment. But in reality, a lot of MCP servers are built on very fine primitives. But those primitives don't work in existing clients. Claude, Cursor, Windsurf, they all are very bare minimum to the MCP standard. They only expose the tools. So right here, I actually have a custom MCP client. You can see here, I can connect to a local MCP server. What I actually do is I use the prompt feature. MCP servers can expose prompts. These prompts can actually provide instructions to let you use the tools more effectively. So behind this figure out Vercel issues prompt, all I actually have are a bunch of primitives to interact with the Vercel API. And so now if I were to just go in, say, oh, what is the status of my Vercel MCP project? Hopefully this will invoke it'll find the prompt. It will use the prompt as a way of actually processing what to do next if my internet is good enough. Otherwise, you have to trust me on this one. Seems like internet is not good. But what would happen is I'll pull up a previous chat from a good demo of this. It actually went and it used the figure out Vercel issues to get the deployment, to then get it by URL, to then get the events, to then get the firewall, and then figure out that it was missing an invalid version. So I think that we could be building better clients to better use the features that MCP is going to be releasing in the future. And so in that case, MCPs are more than just the tools that people can expose. It's also the prompts, the sampling, the routes, the resources. There's a whole lot of features that would make MCPs more powerful. And these are the best ways to get started. The Vercel MCP Adapter, the Vercel MCP for Next.js Starter, as well as the Chat SDK, which we are patching to make it easy to just spin up an MCP server and develop against it right away. Thank you, everyone.
Awesome.